5 people died in a house fire here in Maysville. We'll bring you the latest on this investigation.
A man admits he killed 2 people in a hit-and-run crash. We will hear what one of the family thinks of the plea deal.
The woman who exposed an alleged scandal involving recruits for the University of Louisville basketball team talks to ESPN what she had to say about the allegations she's making.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News at 5.
Good afternoon to you. We begin with a sad story. An overnight fire claims the lives of a mother, 3 of her children, and a neighbor.
That fire started just after midnight at an apartment building on West 2nd Street in Maysville. This afternoon, we're learning more about the victims. WKYT's Sam Smith is live at the scene with our top story at 5. Sam?
Now, the scene here is much quieter than it was earlier today. If you take a look behind me, fire crews have wrapped up their investigation for today into this deadly fire.
I was going to text her, and I thought it's too late. I'll do it in the morning, and now I find out this. I'm shocked.
Investigators say 5 people died because of a fire. They say it started on the back porch of an elderly man's home. That man was killed by the fire. He had working smoke detectors. The family of 4, a mother and her 3 kids, did not. Lori Doppelhuer, her children Egan, Kieran, and Christopher were pronounced dead at the scene. Friends and neighbors say Lori was an ex-Marine.
I'm so sorry to hear this, and she was a good person. She also helped the community. I know some girl that didn't have a bed, she would let her sleep in her house, and she was helping a teenage boy that didn't have a home, was sleeping in a tent. So she helped everybody. She was a good person. About
30 people have been displaced because of this fire. The Red Cross is helping them out if they have nowhere to go. No one else was hurt.
We're a relatively small town, kind of everybody knows everybody sort of thing, and people are generally pretty neighborly here. So absolutely there's going to be an emotional impact, not only to neighbors and friends, but to anybody in the community.
Investigators say this is an accidental fire and nothing criminal happened here. Live in Maysville, Sam Smith, WKYT.
Sam, thank you. Officials say the buildings affected by that fire will likely need to be torn down.
A man admits he caused a deadly hit and run. 2 people died in the crash in Morgan County nearly 2 years ago. Today, their families watched as the driver pled guilty. As WKYT's Hillary Thornton shows us, not everyone was happy with the plea deal.
In court today, Tony Kegley got up in front of his family as well as loved ones of the victims, admitting he is responsible for hitting and killing 2 people, leaving the scene of that accident, and then attempting to have repairs made to his truck to cover up the crime. Back in November of 2013, Tony Ross and Elizabeth Thornsberry were hit and killed while walking along Highway 1010, the driver who hit them taking off from that crash. Today, nearly 2 years later, Tony Kegley admitting he was the man behind the wheel. His attorney says they were prepared to go to trial, but also knew the fact he did not stop and then took his pickup to an auto body repair shop did not work in their favor.
You say, well, a normal person would have stopped, rendered aid and assistance, but he kept going. So he had a motive to leave.
Deciding then to take a deal from prosecutors, pleading guilty to 2 counts of manslaughter, 2nd degree, leaving the scene of an accident, and tampering with physical evidence.
Devastating. You know, you kill 2 people, and it's just a slap on the wrist, basically. He still has his family. His family can still see him, touch him, hear him.
Kegley only answering yes, no, and guilty in court today. However, he does plan to make an apology to the families at his sentencing in about a month.
He's extremely sorry for his actions, and it's something that he has to live with every day of his life. It's his own personal hell.
I haven't seen any remorse from him from day one on this right here. So I don't think it would be heartfelt. No, I don't.
Now, the agreement says that the punishment for each of these counts should be served concurrently, meaning the recommended total sentence is 8 years. In Morgan County, Hillary Thornton, WKYT.
Sentencing is scheduled for November 23rd.
New details today in a recruiting scandal involving the University of Louisville basketball program. The woman who wrote the book exposing the story spoke out on national television. Our Rob Bromley's here with more on that interview. Rob?
Well, Sam, the Louisville basketball recruiting scandal hurled back into the national spotlight today on ESPN's Outside the Lines. Escort Katina Powell spoke out, and 5 former players and recruits telling ESPN they attended parties with strippers. They said it was paid for by former Card staffer and player Andre McGee. Powell said this morning she felt like she was part of the recruitment team.
How did you come to feel that way?
I did everything to make those guys sign. When you offer what you offer, then of course, hey, I'll sign on the line. If this is what they're giving, they're providing, sure.
Montrezl Harrell, Jaquan Lyle, Antonio Blakeney, Jordan Mickey, Terry Rozier.
Yes.
You're saying they all had sex on their recruiting visits?
Yes.
Rick Pitino talked with ESPN, and he called for Andre McGee to come clean. Said Pitino, I don't know if any of this is true or not. There's only one person who knows the truth, and he needs to come out and tell the truth to his teammates, to the University of Louisville, to his fans, and to his coaches that have taught him to do the right thing for years and allowed him to be part of something special here. U of L Athletic Director Tom Jurich responded this morning saying Pitino had absolutely no knowledge of the situation, and he says Pitino has no plans to resign.
Rob, thank you. The University of Louisville Police Department is investigating Powell's claims. Her attorneys are scheduled to meet today with the University of Louisville's General Counsel. It's been another beautiful day. Fall weather out there, just glorious.
And you will want to enjoy it while you can, because we do have some changes ahead. WKYT Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey's here now with the forecast, but let's not talk about those.
I was going to say, I thought you didn't want to talk about those changes, so we're focusing on the good part of the weather program that is out there now and is going to be with us for the next several days too. Live sky cam, fall colors showing up, and look over top of the station. Beautiful blue skies. Temperature right now into the upper 60s, humidity way down there, so another quick drop in temperatures after the sun sets. We're not going to be as cold tonight as where we were this morning and certainly over the past few days. Upper 60s into most of central and eastern Kentucky as of now showing up. Those temperatures have been very, very consistent across the entire area. That is usually the product of a very stable air mass. Nothing that is showing up as of now. And on your 24-hour planner, we look ahead through the overnight into the day tomorrow. Things are looking good as temperatures reach the low 70s. All right, when I come back in a few minutes, we will talk about those changes that really no one wants to talk about. Weekend forecast in a few minutes.
I guess if we have to, Chris, thank you. A central Kentucky plant will be closing. Leaders in Montgomery County say they've received notice Lexington Metal Systems is closing. The closure will take place between December 19th and the 31st. According to the notice, all employees will be terminated. The facility employs about 80 people.
A grand jury has indicted a couple accused of abusing a 17-month-old. Our county-by-county coverage begins in Whitley County. The Times-Tribune reports that Kenneth Bird and Felicia Smith were both indicted on 2 counts of criminal abuse and 1 count of assault. Police say Smith first told them the boy fell off the porch, but later admitted Bird punched him in the head and broke his arm. A Laurel County grand jury has also indicted a man accused of holding his pregnant girlfriend prisoner for 3 days. Eric Anderson is charged with assault, wanton endangerment, and unlawful imprisonment. Police say Anderson abused the victim, would not give her food, and threatened her and her unborn child. She was 31 weeks pregnant at the time. The Sentinel Echo reports that Anderson remains in custody on a $10,000 bond. In Madison County, police have arrested a woman suspected of cashing a Veterans Affairs check that didn't belong to her. 33-year-old Barbara Smith is charged with criminal possession of a forged instrument. The victim told police the check was sent to his old address after he moved. Police say Smith stole it and cashed it for $645.
Speculation continues about whether Vice President Joe Biden will run for the White House. While he's offered no clues about his plans, Biden has taken a number of veiled shots at Democratic frontrunner Hillary Clinton. Weijia Jiang has more from Washington.
Vice President Joe Biden is not officially running for president, but you might not know it after he spent Tuesday morning casting himself as a world leader and President Obama's right-hand man.
We've had 2 great secretaries of state, but when I go, they know that I am speaking for the president.
Biden also drew distinctions between himself and Hillary Clinton. He took a swipe at her comment from last week's debate that Republicans are her biggest enemy.
I still have a lot of Republican friends. I don't think my chief enemy is the Republican Party.
Presidential candidate Jim Webb chimed in too while dropping out of the Democratic race. Now he's considering running as an independent.
Americans are disgusted by all this talk of Republicans and Democrats calling each other the enemy, instead of reaching out across the table and actually finding ways to work together.
Webb's exit may be a good opening for Biden to slip into the contest, but a new Wall Street Journal poll offers little encouragement as he decides what to do. Just 30% of Democratic primary voters said they would like to see Biden run, with 38% saying he should not. Weijia Jiang, CBS News, the White House.
On the Republican side, Donald Trump is leading 5 points ahead of Dr. Ben Carson. Jeb Bush and Marco Rubio are tied for third, trailing by 14 points.